Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk Ferris State hockey. And with us, head coach Bob Daniels. Coach, welcome to the show.
Good to be here, Rob.
I know it was nice to be back at home this past weekend after starting your year last weekend down in Miami of Ohio. Played a couple games at home this past weekend in front of good crowds here at the Ava Ice Arena.
Yeah, we was happy with the crowds, and it's good to be home, and we're going to be home for a while now, Rob. We've got 2 this weekend versus Canisius. Then the following week, I think we have 1 against, no, we're off the following weekend. Then we have 2 with St. Thomas, then 1 with Mercer's. So we're not going to be on the road again until, mid-November. So that's not too bad.
Obviously, I know this past weekend playing a couple in-state opponents and some great competition out here to start the home season.
Yeah, you know what, and we're really acquainted with both teams. We played Tech, obviously, they're in our conference. We played them, I think, 6 times last season. We'll face off against them quite a few times this year. It was good to get to play them non-conference. Both teams were top 20 teams in the country. So it was. We knew it'd be a stiff weekend. I thought we played very well on Friday. Obviously, Loganstein had a really strong game, strong performance. Thought we played a pretty good game on Saturday until about halfway through the game, and you could see where we had played the night before against Michigan Tech, and Western had the night off. Matter of fact, I think they were at a rink watching our game. But you could just see once the momentum changed, we just didn't have any pushback. And I know the guys, they want to play hard all the time, but you could just see we were tired. We wilted against a team that had the night off on Friday night.
As we go to Friday night's highlights, we'll start against Michigan Tech, and you mentioned a conference opponent. This is a non-conference game, and had a chance to honor the new president of Ferris State with a ceremonial puck drop.
Yeah, it was great. It was, President Pink is going to do a great job, good energy. He read the starting lineup for the game. Obviously, he's now 1-0, so he'll be invited back. And, he did a great job. And so I think the story of this game, we played well as a team, but particularly, though, Loganstein really had a strong performance in that, and I think you'll see it through the highlights. Here they tied up 1-1. We scored early, 15 seconds into the game. Really, the guys did a great job in our neutral zone forecheck, getting a turnover, going in, and Tyler Schlempe scored his first career goal as a Bulldog. But you can see here, there's going to be a lot of highlights of Logan, and I think he was the story of the game, played really, really well for us.
Obviously, one of those games where the final shot's very even between both teams. Both teams had some opportunities maybe to put some more goals on the scoreboard.
Yeah, well, I figured this game was going to be close because, and both goalies played well for both teams. But I figured the game would be close. We played them 4 times at the end of last year, and all 4 games went to overtime. So, the 2 teams are pretty evenly matched, and so nothing new for us to come down to the wire in a 1-goal game with Michigan Tech.
Obviously, going to get a big goal coming up here from Dallas Tulik, who gives you the lead here with the eventual game winner.
What I like is Dallas just let it go right away. He didn't stick handle, didn't fool around with it. Shot from the side slot. Now, the third period seemed like it took forever just because we were holding on to the lead. And unlike a week ago at Miami where we ended up tying on Friday night, we had a 1-goal lead with a minute to go. In this game here, we found a way to be strong and come away with the victory.
When you're up going into the third period with 1-goal game, how much do you rely on your veteran kind of leadership?
Quite a bit, and those guys have been through a lot, and we had time to digest and talk about the Miami weekend and the tie on Friday, Saturday night, the first night of the series. And so I think we made some strides from that point to where we're at now. But we have freshmen in a lot of high tough situations late in the game. So we're growing as a group right now.
Obviously, you get the win over Michigan Tech. Nice to start the weekend with a victory, but had to turn the page quickly against a different opponent. A little unique here playing Western Michigan on Saturday.
It is. I kind of liked it. I think in some respects it worked to our advantage playing the night before, and there they hadn't, because it's like we picked up where we left off. We jumped to a quick 3-0 lead. I thought that was to our advantage. But then I thought later in the game it was to their advantage when they had quite a bit more energy than we did, and they were able to turn the tide on us.
Connor McGrath gets your first goal, and he'll get another one here in the second period, and a guy that was named the CCHA Rookie of the Week for his efforts.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We just saw right there Brad Merrick scoring. Here's the goal you're talking about, Connor's second career goal. Scored them both in this game. He was CCHA Rookie of the Week. He's going to be a good one. this is not going to be like a one-time deal. He's a really good player. But we saw just a minute ago Bradley Merrick score a goal, and he was CCHA Rookie of the Year for the entire season last year. So we've got a good stable of young forwards that I'm going to be very interested in watching them grow and grow together. I think the future bodes well from an offensive side of things.
Obviously, you mentioned you had that 3-0 lead, and then they had a strong finish to that second period in the second 10 minutes.
They did, and Noah played very well. We've been splitting Logan and Noah, and now I put Logan in for the third period. It wasn't a knock on Noah. It was just that I thought maybe they had changed their goalie too. I just thought maybe a change of scenery, might give the guys some energy. But right away they score on a breakaway. You're going to see they're going to get another goal to go up 6-3. I think it's coming up like right here. Yeah, and so we gave up 2 power play goals on the weekend, but we did score 3 on the weekend ourselves. So especially team-wise, we did our job. I think right here, the second goal of the game here for Bradley Merrick to make it 6-4, but it's late in the game, obviously, with just 10 seconds. But I was real proud of our guys. We stuck to it. We kept playing hard. Sometimes frustration starts to boil over, and that didn't happen. Obviously,
after those 2 games this past weekend, you remain at home this week, taking on Canisius, and a program that's guided by a former player of yours in Trevor Large.
Yeah, Trevor Large. He played on the 02-03, our first championship team, and was a right wing number 19 for us. Very good player. He's an excellent coach. I look at our team right now, though. We've got room to improve in some areas, and what I'd like to get out of this week in practice is I'd like us to become more aggressive in both defensive zone. I think at times we end up getting caught too long in our own end. And then in the offensive zone on the forecheck, it looks clunky to me at times, not as aggressive as we should be. So we've got work. The good news is I like our team right now. We're off to a 1-2-1 start, and yet I see areas for big gains and improvement. And probably the most important thing, we're seeing good goaltending. So, my spirits are pretty high. I have high hopes for this team. And the good news is, too, they're willing to work really hard each and every day.
Well, Coach, thanks for the time, and best of luck hosting Canisius coming up Friday, Saturday, 7:07 p.m.
Great. Thanks, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.